morning, Skate fam. This is your boy DJ R. Cole.
And I am the queen, and I thank you for tuning into Boss Talk.
So today we actually have a very special guest with us, as always. All of our guests are special,
They are
every
very
single last one. So, but before we get to that, we have a couple tidbits of information to let the skate world know of. So, what do we have
yeah.
going on?
First off, we just want to have everybody to still practice their social distancing and be
Hmm.
safe out there. And we're looking at your skate vids. We like you guys going out there and sending us vids that you're doing alternate skating while still being safe and
Hmm.
practicing that social distancing. But we have lost some people in the skate world. And we want to send out our condolences to Von Mason, who passed away, and then Mr. Scott Ghetto Jedi Randolph, Mr.
Hmm.
Slow Mo, also passed away.
Yeah,
So our prayers and condolences go to the families
most
and the
definitely.
skate fams because we know you miss the mom.
Hmm. Definitely. Now, for those who don't know who Vaughn and Mason is, he performs the song that is the our
Staple.
staple song for the skate community, and that's Rock Bound Skate.
Yeah.
So if I would sing it, but I'm
Please
not
don't.
gonna
Please.
I'm not gonna go
Please.
that route.
Please. You can tune it
So
up.
that's just bounce rock skate.
Kid,
Yeah.
kid. Don't sing it.
You know that actually might
Don't do it
not
right.
be a bad idea.
And for our DJs out there, DJ Jazzy Jeff is hospitalized
Man,
from
yeah,
and for pneumonia.
yeah.
He
He
said
kind of
he's
kept it low key though,
yeah, he
because he
did.
didn't really
He
want to put
did.
it all the way out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, he
But
definitely.
everybody was looking for him, because he was doing his DJ stuff.
So real quick, so this is the bounce rock skate song. I'm gonna play it real quick for you guys, just a little staple of it, so you guys can hear it. All right, there you go. So if you guys don't know, now you know who was the actual singer of that song. So,
Wow.
and what else
He
do we
was
have going on?
surely missed. Surely missed.
Most definitely, most definitely.
I have a fun fact that I found out yesterday, and this is like so cool
Hmm.
because my thought process, because of course, like we're all in there our zones. And I was just thinking of what would be great if we could do something like this all over the nation.
Hmm.
So New York has a event that's called Big Apple Roll. And this has been going on for 18 years, started in
Wow.
September 1980. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I've never heard of it, but obviously they do it every year, and people, I guess people in New York know about it. I don't know why Escape Fam didn't tell us, but anyway, back in September 1980, which was like at the first of them, there was a Donna Summer was there. They had 800 people that gathered and competed in this first ever skating marathon for the East Coast.
Hmm.
Wow.
It was amazing, amazing. Um, I want to tell you the man who won. I'm gonna mess up his name, but brother, no, I'm trying. Giuliano Madzimana. He was a 22-year-old construction worker from Cleveland, and he won and he skated the 26.2-mile course
Wow.
in an hour and 37 minutes.
Wow.
Now that's deep. But they're going to have this again this year if everything works out,
Hmm.
July 29th through August 2nd. And I just thought it would be cool. Like, what if we did that in every major metropolitan area, like New York,
Hmm.
like DC, Houston, and just had like a mega skate like that? And I just thought that would be so cool.
That actually wouldn't be something to put together. We have the man
Yeah.
himself in here. He has
Yeah.
accomplished it. It might be something to put together, or
Yeah.
even like a skate
Sounds cool.
marathon instead of walking,
Yeah.
just roller skating.
Right.
You
I
know,
mean,
but you
just
probably got to
something like
watch
to
out for the
to
potholes.
commemorate. Well, I know here in Houston, but to commemorate, all of this that we've been going through with the coronavirus,
Right.
this would be like one big
Big
skate party.
Yeah,
marathon.
yeah.
Yeah, like we could, go between the states and have competitions and just
That would
that
be
would be
dope.
so
That would
dope.
be dope.
So y'all heard it first here. Y'all heard it
That
first
would
here on
be dope.
Skaters Connect Radio.
That would be dope. Yeah.
That might be
Yeah.
something that we
So
have to put together. So if you guys are
Absolutely.
interested in it, hit us
yeah,
up,
yeah.
info at
Sounds dope.
skatersconnect.com. And we'll
Okay.
try to see if we can make something happen for the skate community. But see how that works?
I
Just
know.
ideas just kind of flows like
I
that. But it's
know.
interesting that there's so many things that are going on in the skate community that we just don't know about.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
just shows that we have to get out of this shell that
Right.
Mhm.
we're in. You know what I'm saying? You have to
Mm.
branch out because there's a lot of things going on that we
Yeah.
don't know about. Just like with the interview that we did with the young lady that'll be airing soon.
Mhm.
She started a business for herself. It's a phenomenal business. I'm looking forward to actually airing that. But
Yeah.
right now, we have, as I
Yeah.
mentioned, we have a special guest in the house, and
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself
Without further ado.
without further ado.
Good morning, Skate family. This is your man, Skate King. I am here with Ray and the Queen on Skate Connect. It's a beautiful day here in Houston, and I'm excited about this interview and sharing some tidbits with you in regards to my passion and all the things that I love about skating and about life and about being a boss.
Right.
Okay.
So, how long have you been skating?
So I've been skating now, Ray, for 4 years, and it's been awesome. It's been amazing.
In four?
And
Okay,
for,
so
but you
wait,
just
wait,
started
hold on,
skating
wait.
in 4 years. You skated before though, right? You
so,
skated
so
before.
as a youth,
Okay.
of course, back in Florida, I'm a Florida born,
Okay.
Florida native. So we skated as youths from maybe like 8 years old to tape it off around 12. You get 12,
Okay.
you get a little
Yeah.
grown. You don't feel like
Mm.
skating is the place anymore. So,
Right.
but the things that I do now in terms of agility and skating they're incomparable to what I did then.
Mm-hmm.
Then we were just having fun and kind of
Yeah.
socializing. But came to Houston, long story short, and just fell in love with the skating all over again, and saw some things that were like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
this is phenomenal.
So
So
what brought you back into skating? Like you just one of your friends is like, hey, come roll with us, or what brought you back to the ring?
that's an awesome question. So unfortunately,
Mhm.
I was facing a divorce,
Mhm.
and I needed an outlet,
Mhm.
a positive outlet. So I never drank, don't smoke, um, don't do clubs a whole bunch like that.
Mhm.
So I was looking for um, a place to marry my passion and
Mhm.
music.
Mhm.
I love to dance and I
Okay.
love music. So I
Mm-hmm.
needed a place to marry those two.
Mhm.
So I began skating with my then 6-year-old son,
Mhm.
and we would go to Katy rink. There was a rink there in Katy, Mason Road Skate
Right.
Center,
Mm-hmm.
and we would skate. I bought some little old rinky dink skates and kind of
The
felt my
starters.
way around. All the traffic, the little
Yeah.
people.
Mm.
So kind of got back into it that way. It was an
Okay.
outlet for me. It was an outlet for me.
So, in those 4 years, that was when you went hard at
I was skating, Ray, 4 times a week.
it. Mm.
I would find any open rink in Houston and like just be there.
Go to it. Yeah.
Around that
Yeah.
time, Almeda was
Mm-hmm.
still pretty popular and open.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And to my dismay, it was only going to be open for another 2 months.
Oh, so you came at the
Oh.
end.
I came at the
Okay.
At the end.
very end,
Oh,
but
okay.
Oh,
caught
Okay.
okay.
I caught
Okay.
I caught the passion
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
action,
Yeah.
and that's what
Cool.
really really just kind of like opened up my skate world. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, this is ridiculous in a
Yeah.
good way.
Yeah. Yeah.
The things I saw the people doing, the moves, it was just crazy. It was the
Wow.
vibe, the
Yeah.
energy.
Mhm.
It really inspired me. Yeah,
So prior to this, so basically you had a hiatus of a couple of years,
a
then,
whole bunch
a
of
whole bunch of
years.
years.
A
And when you came back and made that transition into skating 4 days a week, you know, I've seen you skate, and you skate like you've been skating all your life. So I definitely commend you on that because you actually do see some skaters that only been skating for a couple of years and their body just takes to it so well that they just automatically just they're just born with it, you know.
From again, I love music and I love to dance, but
Hmm.
skating is an entirely different genre. It's an
Yeah,
entirely different breed.
yeah.
There's certain moves and pivots and things that you really have to understand and have
Hmm.
muscle memory and have.
Hmm.
I think the main thing is having courage, Ray.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it is.
Well, I
Yeah,
don't
it
know
is.
because I like music and I like to dance. And I'll be out there and I in my head
right in your head.
In my head, I'm seeing something else.
Right.
Long haul. Now
Right.
I might get something different.
That's it. That's it. So it took a lot of courage to really, and there was some of the guys I skate with who were around our age.
Mhm.
I'm not even ashamed of my age. I'm thankful. I'm 52 years old, so I started skating at 48.
Black don't crack already.
Hey.
Right. So a lot of the guys were like, man, I used to do this and used to do that. And for me, I was so naive, and I'm athletic as well.
Mhm.
So for me, it's like, I don't understand what you're saying, but I'm just doing what I can do and
Right,
being,
right.
challenging myself and pushing myself.
Mhm.
Again, for me, it was a positive outlet, something that I could do
Mhm.
on a regular, get rid of my stress. When I hit the rink, boom, I'm in the
Right.
sanctuary, the music's playing,
You're in your zone.
raise on the ones and twos, and it's all
Mhm.
good.
Hey,
Sometimes I
hey.
was on there, but yeah.
Clap, clap, clap,
So,
clap.
what are some of the favorite tunes that you like to skate to? Like JB, or you just kind of like out there?
you
What's
know,
your favorite?
um, I love the New York style.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
super, super classy. It's
Mhm.
intriguing. It takes specific skill set.
Mhm.
You got to be very disciplined.
Mhm.
You know,
Hmm.
JB is kind of like out there, it's kind of wild and movie and moody and
Mhm.
flash, flash. But the New York style is real conservative. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's
Takes a
it's
lot
it's
of
gr-
balance
it's like a
too.
grown and sexy kind of skate.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the New York style for me.
I
And
like.
then, of course, I incorporate other little moves in and there because I'm kind
Mhm.
of ambidextrous in that way. But
Hmm.
I like the New York style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the style too. My only issue is that I get dizzy very
Right.
easily with all those spins.
Right.
So you might get two or three good spins out of me, and then that's it. That is it. So yeah, that's what's up. So uh, we were speaking earlier in regards to how you view yourself,
Hmm.
in the skate world,
Sure.
you know. And one of the things that you touched on was that when you go to the rink, you go there to basically have a release,
Yeah.
and trying to say this without being
Can you
because
ask the
because
question?
skating can be a very sensitive
Sure.
topic,
Sure.
y-
Sure.
you
Sure.
know, especially the way things are now,
Sure.
you know. So for you, when you walk in the rink, what's your what's the first thing that goes through your mind? Like, what I'm saying? Is it a feeling? Is it just okay, let me go say hi to everybody, let me do this, let me do that, or
So allow me to digress for quick second.
mhm.
Um, since this is boss talk, right?
Yeah, it's boss
Hmm.
talk.
So the first thing for me, even before I get to the rink, I give God thanks.
Hmm.
He's my boss, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
And I thank him for the agility for the movement and for just being inspired to do skating, to skate.
Hmm.
So when I get to the rink, I love fashion,
Hmm.
right? I love dance and I love music.
Hmm.
So for me, a combination of those three worlds come together for me at one time.
Hmm.
Um, I'm feeling very social,
Hmm.
right? I want to say hello and greet the people that are there, those who I know, those who I don't know.
Hmm.
I want to feel and hear the music, and the most important thing, I want to put my skates on
Yeah, yeah.
and get on the wood.
Hmm.
I want to feel that wood under
Hmm.
under my feet. And once my respiration goes up,
Hmm.
blood starts flowing, I feel my body loosen up,
Hmm.
then I feel a sense of freedom,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And a sense of sanctuary. I'm in a place where no matter what's happening in my peripheral world,
Hmm.
right now, I'm on this wood,
Right.
the music's good, the people are good,
Hmm.
I'm good, I'm safe, I'm having a great
Yeah,
time.
yeah. See, the reason why I was actually asking that is because for a majority of the people out there who roller skate, it's not just something that we do.
Right.
It's like a passion. It's a feeling. It's just like something comes over you. I see people who roller skate and they completely zone out.
I would call that therapy.
Hmm. Okay.
Skating for so many people that I've spoken with, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
We relate on that plane. Man, this is therapy. This
Yeah.
is this is medicine,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So yeah,
Wow. Wow. So now you actually have a company. You are a an entrepreneur.
hmm
So let's talk a little bit about that.
cool, cool. So I am the CEO of the number one Dr. Clean Ice Machines and Refrigeration Company.
Okay.
We are a
Cool.
commercial refrigeration company. I'm
Mhm.
a commercial contractor
Nice.
licensed by the state of, almost said Florida, by the Florida
Uh-oh.
boy coming out by the state of Texas.
Mhm.
And we can repair, service, sell um, commercial kitchen refrigeration, ice machines, walk-in coolers, freezers,
Mhm.
reaching coolers, freezers.
Nice.
Um, Likewise, we are licensed, Class A licensed to work on a in a one-story building or a 50-story skyscraper.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's the gist of what we do. We
Yeah.
service um, some of the famous places here in Houston, such as the Breakfast Club,
Mhm.
the Reggae Hut,
Mhm.
Turkey Leg Hut,
Mhm.
many corporate entities, Shell,
Mhm.
etc.
Nice.
So if you think about it on the smaller scale, there are ice machines in this very building that we are in right now,
Mhm.
but they're
Mhm.
not the commercial size, but they're in the kitchenettes.
Mhm.
So we do ice machines as big as this room,
Wow.
you know,
Wow. Wow.
30 by 6, 30 by 20, or ice
Mhm.
machines as big as your common reaching ice machine in a commercial
Yeah.
building or setting
Yeah.
like this in a kitchenette. And so it's a passion. Started the
Mhm.
company um, years ago. Here's a boss tip I want to give. Right,
Okay.
here's a
Alright.
boss tip I want to
Alright.
give. A
Alright.
boss tip. So, specifically in the times in which we're in right now with the coronavirus and people being laid off and even being fired or
Mhm.
just having to work from home, there's a certain mindset and a certain feeling that comes over us when we feel somewhat overwhelmed.
Mhm.
So, I want to give this boss tip. So, I was working as a food service director for Sodexo Marriott some years ago
Mhm.
after obtaining my business degree and they were just working me like a Hebrew,
Mhm.
day in and day out night, day in and day out. I would be working, and they burned me out. It was a two-tier managerial system, and they had me working for 2 years without my help.
Mhm.
Long story short, a mutual friend introduced me to a friend,
Mhm.
and this gentleman actually was a contractor, an AC contractor.
Mhm.
He later became my mentor,
Mhm.
and currently still is my mentor. This is 20 years ago. So I went to work for him. I took a pay cut from $100,000 a year to $10 an hour.
Mhm.
And I call that a calculated risk. That's boss tip number one.
Mhm.
You've got to make calculated risks that has nothing to do with immediate gains, but has everything to do with long-term gains.
Mhm.
So I knew that if I could learn this trade, it would propel me in my distant future, but I would have to discipline myself in my close and near future. So I took the job and went to work for him, used my skill set as a GM to organize his warehouse, to work diligently, and I was honest and just very diligent. He noted
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Long story short, he and his wife, well, he came to me one day while I was working on a roof. His name is Mr. Hunter, James Hunter. Shout out to him. He came to me one day and he said, Leo, you can carry that tool bag for the rest of your life,
Mhm.
or you can go to school and be a boss like me one
Mhm.
day.
Mhm.
He said, would you like to go to school? I said, sure. He came back to me the next day. He said, I paid your first year tuition
Mhm.
for air conditioning refrigeration technology,
Mhm.
and here's the address. Show up on Monday. I will work all day for a year, go to school 4 nights a week
Mhm.
for 4 hours, and he paid me $10 an hour.
Mhm.
The next year, he came to me with the same song.
Mhm.
We rehearsed it, and I sung it for another year.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that lasted 4 years.
Mhm.
He and his wonderful wife, my godmom, Julia, they paid for 4 years of my education.
Wow.
put me
Wow.
through school, air conditioning refrigeration technology. I graduated top of my class. Here's another boss tip. Um, when you are faced with difficult times, be the person that pursues, persists, and consistently makes it through.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
My point is, don't give up.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, learn, and I'm drilling a little bit deeper into this subject about
Hmm.
this boss tip. You've got to be willing to be positive in the most negative situation.
Yeah.
Right.
If you can do that, you're going to come out as a winner
Hmm.
each and every time life hits you hard.
Hmm.
So now here's a deeper personal boss tip that I for myself. This is how I encourage myself every morning. Number one, I pray. Two, I meditate. I strategize, and I'm human, so I may even worry a little bit.
Hmm. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. Yeah.
Not perfect, but anyway. So, but when I walk over the threshold of my home, out of my door, I declare to my day, I speak to my day about who I am.
Hmm.
And I say one word, and you're going to laugh what I'm about to say right now. When I say this, the dogs start barking. The reason they bark is because I'm so loud, not because they know who I am.
Hmm.
Or they may just say, that's that crazy neighbor again.
Right. Right.
But I say with great exclamation, I say conqueror. And I say it like this: conqueror.
Hmm.
And I speak to my day. I tell my day who I am. I announce it, and I go to work. So that's how I started my day up. But anyway, back to the story of school. I went to school, graduated top of my class, and went to the top of the industry. Mr. Hunter basically he retired from working air conditioning and gave me his blessings to go and work for someone else. And again, here's another boss tip in these times and these seasons. You've got to position yourself. It's all about positioning.
Hmm.
Again, it's not about money, it's about position.
Right.
It's about knowledge and position. So I went to work for this other company and they were happy to have me. Graduate,
Hmm.
sharp.
Hmm.
So I asked them to review me every 90 days.
Mhm.
Of course, in a regular job setting, you're reviewed annually.
Mhm.
Why would I wait for you to review me annually? That's when my opportunity to get a
Right.
pay increase.
Yeah.
So I use some wisdom, right?
Mhm.
Hmm.
I want to please look at me on a quarterly basis.
Yeah.
Because when you look at me on a quarterly basis, I'm going to ask you two questions. How did the numbers look? Because I know you want the money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm going
Yeah.
to
Oh yeah.
grind. I'm going to
Hmm.
make the money.
Hmm.
Secondly, I'm going to ask you how my customer reviews.
Mhm.
How do your people feel about me?
Yeah.
And if both those are affirmative, guess what?
Hmm.
I'm going to ask you a question for me. Do you think that you can give me a pay increase?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And if I do that 3 times a year,
Mhm.
4 times a year rather,
Yeah. Yeah.
if
Get.
if
Hmm.
hello, if you tell me no twice, I got you twice,
Yeah.
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 right?
Yeah.
You tell
Hmm.
me no 2 times. If you tell me no 1 time, I still got you 3 times.
Hmm.
So my point is, I went from at that time $12 an hour to $25 an hour within 2 years.
Mhm.
Wow.
So I'm
Wow.
6 years in the industry. I'm at the top of the industry chain, food chain,
Hmm.
and I'm making my progress because
Yeah.
I'm strategizing and
Right.
planning like a boss.
And you
Mhm.
had to know your worth too.
Yeah.
That's it.
You
That's
know,
it.
you had to
Yeah.
That's
know
it.
your worth.
And then lastly, you've got to be willing to make a leap.
Hmm.
I decided when my employer's son walked up to me one day and didn't speak. He was 6 years old.
Mhm.
Little Timmy,
Hmm.
say hello to Leo. Hmm. I looked at this little fella, hear my heart more than my words, and I went, you know what? I won't be here when you're 25
Hmm.
Mhm.
after you graduated from college,
Right.
Hmm.
back here as a boss.
Hmm.
You'll never be my boss,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about my own son at home.
Mhm.
I've got a little Timmy, right? A
Hmm.
little Leo,
Mhm.
and he needs one day to look up to me
Right.
and
Right.
say, my dad is a boss.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So, long story short, I got all the training that I could get.
Mhm.
I had them send me to factory schools all over the country, Atlanta, Wisconsin,
Mm,
Nevada, for specific training.
mm.
I asked all the right questions. My last tip would be this about employment and working. Uh, um, like a big speaker, we always say our last tip. But anyway, it's the last thing I got to say. So, my last tip would be um, get specialized
Mhm,
and ask the right questions.
mhm. Yeah.
Become irreplaceable.
Mhm,
So I went to my boss one day. I said, the air conditioning refrigeration industry has a few levels: maintenance, service, maintenance, service, and sales. Didn't want to do sales. I definitely want to do service. I want to be an expert tech because if you can figure things out, you can always be needed.
Yeah.
So, and I said, where should I try and land in this industry? Should I do AC? Should I do refrigeration? Or should I
mhm,
do ice machines?
mhm.
Because this company held, they vested all
Okay.
those levels of expertise. So he said, Leo, if you learn ice machines, you'll never look for a job again. Jobs will look for you.
Mhm.
So I'm at the apex of this food chain.
Mhm.
I'm an expert in ice machine repair.
Mhm.
I'm a bad boss.
Hey, there you go.
Hey.
There you go. There
So
you go.
I have an intimate understanding of these machines,
Mhm,
being humble.
mhm,
So I went through the training, got the training, and then I made that leap,
mhm,
right? I said, why should I bring this employer XYZ amount of dollars every week
mhm.
Mhm.
and then he give me back a token and say, hey, great job, Leo,
Right, right.
Yeah.
right?
Appreciate
Uh
you
huh.
making me some money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Right.
give you a small
So,
percentage of it.
so my whole concept was, why don't I just give Uncle Sam
Mhm,
Mhm.
a stipend
mhm,
Mhm.
weekly and then give myself
mhm,
Mhm.
and my family,
Mhm.
mhm,
right,
mhm.
what I was giving Bill.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
So
right,
those are some
right, right.
things, and that's the way that I think as a boss.
Mhm,
I think that way when I'm skating.
mhm.
I want to learn these skills. I want to be able to exercise them myself. I want to have fun doing it. I want to enjoy this. So everything that I approach in life, I approach like a boss.
Mhm. And that's what you should do. You actually said a few things that I try to always remind myself too, and I've also told others is that when you're working for somebody else,
Hmm.
make yourself valuable.
Hmm.
Because
Mhm.
eventually that job is gonna possibly say, "I don't need you no more." And when they do that, they need to feel it. You
Sure.
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and also there's two type of people. You're either gonna be a owner or you're gonna be a renter.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So, which one would you rather do?
Sure.
Would you rather own it or would you rather rent it?
Sure.
You know. So, I definitely feel you on those,
Mhm.
tidbits of boss information. And for those of you guys that are listening and
Mhm.
who are thinking about stepping out on
Yeah.
faith and
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
starting your own business, there's
Mhm.
never really a right
There
time.
is not a
Right.
right time.
You
So,
Right.
know.
what made you at that point of your life say, "I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna do this"? Because it was a few times that you said, it's a few times that you said that you were, and you got
The
to do that.
queen is
Yeah,
speaking.
that seesaw. Because you was like, but if I do this, and then, so what made you jump?
That's so funny. That's awesome. I'm glad you asked that question, Queen. So here it is. Um, uh, unbeknownst to you all, I also own another company. I also own a mobile detail company.
Mhm.
We'll talk about that later, maybe. But what made me make that jump was I was fired.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm,
I was fired.
mhm,
I was fired from a job that actually transferred, that relocated me here to Houston. So my point is that sometimes in life, it's not your fault,
Mhm.
right?
yep,
It's not your fault. There are circumstances that are working against you
Mhm.
that are beyond your measure, beyond your strength to control how it's going to come out,
Mhm.
the outcome. But what you can control is how you land,
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
right? You can
Yep.
Right.
control how you land,
Right.
right? You can't control how you're fired. See, fired means you're kicked out, pow, you're
Mhm.
shot out,
Mhm.
you're right, you're
Right.
moved,
Yeah.
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
But how you land is on you. Cats, they say cats have 9 lives, and you toss them off of a building, out of a tree or whatever, they're gonna try their absolute unequivocal best to land
Mhm.
on their feet,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
They're not gonna, just give up in the fall and land on their head, their back, because they want to suffer at the least amount of injury. So in suffering the least amount of injury, you begin to plan and plot. Okay, I'm in this fall, right?
Mhm.
So I begin to plan and plot. I actually started my business after being fired, and starting the business means this: I hit the books.
Mhm.
You've got to be diligent. When depression hits you, or aggression hits you, or frustration hits you, and anger hits you, that's why I said early on, I preface by saying you've got to learn to be positive in a negative situation,
Mhm.
right? So for me, my personality is, if you hit me and try and hurt me, I'm going to power up.
Mhm.
So when you see me again, I'm too far ahead of you
Mhm.
and too far above you for you to reach me ever again,
Right.
right? Ever
Hmm.
again.
Hmm.
I'm out of your range. I'm too strong. I'm too big.
Yeah.
So for me, it was okay. I'm going to meet them at the service counter as a boss.
Mhm.
The next time they see me, I'm going to have my logo, my company name,
Mhm.
my business. I'm not going to be embarrassed. I
Hmm.
refuse to be, you know, that person that's shot down and shot out. Because number one, I got the big boss on my side. He's
Right.
God.
Right.
Yeah, I talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Hmm.
My
Hmm.
faith,
Hmm.
Yeah.
right? So that's what propelled me. And then the other thing that really helped me a great deal as well was having responsibility,
Yeah. Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Most, and just hear my heart more than my words, most of us men, right? The men of our culture,
Mhm.
when we hit with hard times, we drug, we drink. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just saying, we fall into a
Yeah.
depression and we fall back.
Right.
But when you have pride and dignity, you've been raised by some kings and queens, right?
Mhm.
And you've been loved. That gets under your sail, it gets in your wings, it gets in your tank, and it propels you.
Yeah.
It pushes you forward. So that's what happened with me. I had my babies and my then, of course, wife, ex-wife now, and it drove me
Mhm.
to get it.
Right.
So I hit the books. I sat down for hours on end. I went through those books. I contacted TDLR, et cetera, did what I had to do, and I found myself in classes getting ready to boss up because I
Mhm.
remember again what my mentor said. He said, "Leo, you can do this or you can do that.
Right.
You
Right.
can get with this or you can get
Yeah.
with that."
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so it caused me again to boss up,
Mhm.
and when I did, it was so gratifying. And even now, I'm a successful businessman with two businesses. I'm a single dad. I'm
Mhm.
raising my two boys, one 18, one 13. Got a daughter in college at TSU. She's
Mhm.
chip off the old block like her dad. She's a business major, getting it. She came to me one day. She said, "Dad, I want to be a cosmetologist." I said, "So you want to get a master's degree in business, huh?" She said, "No, I just, I want to." She said, "Oh,"
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And then I
yeah.
can own. I said,
Right.
"Exactly."
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
So my sons want to be engineers, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm just setting a precedence for them as a man from our culture, right? And did I say black man? And
Yeah.
just setting a precedence
Yeah.
so that each and every day um, others can see that boss. And
Mhm.
even when I'm in the rink,
Mhm.
Mhm.
you know, my name Skate King. I'm not
Mhm.
the
Right.
king of skating, but I'm a king that skates,
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
right? And I carry that persona, that love, that conservatism, that love,
Mhm.
that peace, that
Mhm.
bravado,
Yeah,
Mhm.
that
yeah,
flyness,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's all in good nature. It's all
Mhm.
intended for a good reason,
Mhm.
you know. So I'm just really I'm thankful that you asked that question
Yeah.
because I was actually, you know, taken under the water and refused to drown.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it sounds like your foundation was solid because somebody took you under their wing and said, "Hey, look, I got this for you. Here, do this, go to school, and you'll be better." And
Hmm.
you accepted it because sometimes people give you stuff and people aren't ready to accept it and they go the other way. But you were in a place that you were ready to accept it, and they were giving it to you wholeheartedly, and they were encouraging and they were backing you, and you just continued on and on and on with that. So that is definitely a
Yeah.
blessing.
In life, you got to have a comparative study.
Yes.
You can get with this
Yeah.
Hmm.
or you can get with that,
Hmm.
and you've got to weigh it out to see. Again, it's about that pride and that dignity,
Yes.
right? So I call myself king. It's not my name, it's actually my nature. You call
Mhm.
yourself queen
Mhm.
because that's your nature, that's
Mhm.
your mindset, that's how you
Mhm.
move. So with that being said, yes, I was given that opportunity and took full court advantage of it.
Mhm.
And Mr. Hunter, James Hunter, he's still my mentor right now. Today he's 80 years old. I
Yeah.
call him right now.
Hmm.
Blessing.
I go to the house when I go to Florida. I go to his house. He throw me the keys to the Mercedes, and you say, where your room is.
Yeah.
So when you are, and you're speaking about character, when you have the right character,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
People see that true character who
Yes.
can see,
Yeah.
and then you link and you begin to do and move things and
Mhm.
do things together, and it betters not only your life, and then you pay it forward because
Yes.
he's never asked me for a penny.
Right.
He's family to me.
Right.
But you know what? Every now and then I bless them,
There you
All
go.
right. All
Pay it
right
back.
now.
right?
Yeah.
Every now
There
and
you go.
then, every now and
Yeah.
they don't need it, but
Yeah.
hey, what you did for me,
Hmm.
my whole family and strangers are being blessed by it.
Mhm.
So we as black men, we need to have men like your fiance.
No.
My fiance.
What you
I'm
did-
Wait.
oh,
sorry.
Wait.
I
Wait. Oh, you giving
know.
me him?
I'm
Where's the
like,
ring,
I'm like,
please?
wait a minute, I'm confused. What's going on?
Okay. Well,
Can you
okay.
bring the
We
ring?
digress. Like we need men like Ray,
Mm,
right? Who persist through the weather, who persists through the changes in culture,
yeah.
who persists through pessimism, negativity, and skepticism, and still maintain the
Yeah.
integrity of who we are.
Yeah.
That, my friend, is what being a boss is all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to take control of your situation.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yes.
So I definitely feel you on that one right there. So
Yeah.
definitely feel you on that. Now you actually have a production company too.
I was considering, well, when I began skating,
Hmm.
I wanted, I thought about doing promoting events.
Mhm.
I'm still considering it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Again, I like fashion.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I love to dress, and I love to see people, dress and do well. And I was thinking also about possibly at some point doing maybe even a skate parties.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So in fact, the reason that we all enjoy Derry Ashford on the level in which we enjoy it now, 3 years ago they were having a Prince celebration
Mhm.
of life for Prince,
I think I
Mhm.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
and I was there speaking with a then skate. Um, she had a skate shop.
Hmm.
T had a skate shop, and
Mhm.
she was selling skates, and I was helping her with her product. And she decided to do a Prince party, but they didn't have a DJ.
Mhm.
I would say this is a very dope idea, cool idea, but without a DJ, it's going to be a
Yeah.
flop.
Right.
So I called Wild Child, Wild
Hmm.
Mhm.
Child up. He came over and DJ'd
Mhm.
there on a Thursday, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Thursday night was born.
Okay.
So that's a little known
Hello.
skate history fact. Yo, your
You
boy
heard it
Skate
here
King, you heard it here
first.
first, baby. Initiating.
And you are also the fashion master.
Wait a minute now.
Cause I
Leave my
see
hats alone. Leave my
your hat, what you call your lids,
my
beards
lids.
and lids.
Bearded and
Beaded.
lidded. Follow
Okay.
me on Instagram. Bearded, BEARDED, and ANDLIDDED. Bearded and lidded. Follow me on Instagram. So yeah, I love fashion. My dad, my mom,
Okay.
they were uh, um, haberdashery
Okay.
connoisseurs. They
Yeah.
love the dress.
He's
So yeah,
forever posting some debonair things,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
he'll even set out the flavor for you. He don't even put it on all the time.
The sauce and the sauce.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I really really enjoy. I enjoy dressing. So I've kind of begin to mix up my passion for skating and my passion for grown and sexy type of parties and things of that sort. So at
Yeah.
some point, Ray, I think that I will do something
Hmm.
as a production, some type of promotion,
Okay.
Mm.
bring grown and sexy folks together.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That to have a nice time to dress well, whether it's skating or whether it's
Hmm.
a nice lounge setting. So I will do something like that in the future, but the little drill a little bit deeper. I'm currently working on a book, so I'm going to be
Hmm.
a published author.
Well, tell
Okay.
us
Author.
about the book.
Tell us
What's
Yo,
going on with
yo,
the
now.
yo,
book?
yo. The
Yes.
book's coming out. So
Okay.
yeah. So I'm writing a book. I won't give the title, but it's going to be, in the words of Queen, it's going to be amazing.
Okay. Okay. We'll be looking for that.
So it is a book, a self-help book for men
Hmm.
who are caregivers for their significant others, wives, girlfriends, fiancés, etc., who are battling breast cancer.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's a how to, when to, where
Yeah.
to love her for men who are facing this this Titanic. My ex battled breast cancer for 4 years, 3 years,
Hmm.
Mm.
and thankfully she is cancer free today.
Good.
And
That's
I
a
saw her through
Good.
the
blessing.
entire
Good.
process.
Yeah.
And I don't think that men have a voice or even
Hmm.
um, a an insight as to how to handle that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's of course it's life threatening and it's life changing for a
Hmm.
woman. But when a man is connected to his woman, it is, I believe, equally impactful on
Hmm.
Hmm.
him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's and
It's
when you're battling cancer, you're not just the only one. The family is battling with
certainly
you,
right.
Hmm.
and that relationship that you once enjoyed
Mm-hmm.
has changed
Mm-hmm.
because the dynamic has changed, and you have to love me differently. You have
Mm.
to talk to me differently.
Hmm.
You
Yes.
have to care for me differently
Yes.
because I'm not the her that you had before. So,
Absolutely.
and I think that's very hard for some men to understand because as a caregiver it's hard, period.
Mm-hmm.
But to be able to love and cherish and softly understand what that person is going through at that moment
Mm-hmm.
and be patient, it's kind of difficult for a lot of men.
I tell you what, just a little sneak peek into the book. So we were at her doctor, and the doctor was doing a mammogram,
Hmm.
and we could see these images as she did the ultrasound.
Hmm.
Huge dark masses,
Hmm.
like boulders in space.
Hmm.
When I tell you, I didn't realize how deep love goes
Hmm.
and how you can be connected to someone and not really realize it, concerned about their welfare, their life,
Hmm.
and their longevity. I stood there holding her hand, and I literally almost, number one, fainted looking at that image, looking at those images. I almost went out. I felt myself getting light. The next thing was I wanted to run. I wanted to walk out of the room
Hmm.
because I felt as though I was about to just pass out.
Hmm.
I needed to breathe, but I stayed connected and I held her hand and would not let go.
Hmm.
I breathed through it, made it through it, and at that moment, and at that point, I understood that there's a deeper meaning to love. There's a
Mhm.
deeper meaning to
Mhm.
care. There's a deeper meaning to concern.
Mhm.
There's just a deeper meaning when you're connected to someone on a friend level. This is my friend. My
Yeah.
friend
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
dying.
Mhm.
Right. So the book is based in that emotion.
Mhm.
You know, it's based in I got you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I want to run. I want
Mhm.
to faint. I want
Mhm.
to give up. But
Mhm.
I got you. I there's nowhere else for me to go right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's
So
what's important.
yeah,
That's what they wanted. I know you're there for me
yes,
in this moment. Breast, no breast, lung,
yes,
no lung.
yes.
You got me.
That's it.
Mhm.
That's it.
And that's what matters.
That's it. And it was horrific. But you know what? I tell you, it the doctor, one of her doctors said, and the reason what inspired the book is that one of the doctors said, said Leo, men don't do what you're doing. This is the God honest truth. And he said this in the presence of my ex-wife and I. He said, I wish that my daughter was married to Leo
Mm.
Mhm.
because men don't do what he's doing. They
Mhm.
leave,
Mm.
Mhm.
they abandon
Mhm.
at the first hint of
Yeah.
cancer.
Mhm.
Mhm.
They're gone.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And in terms of showing up at chemo, they're
Yeah.
never here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No one's here.
Mhm.
And in my mind, I said to myself, I said, I couldn't imagine anywhere else to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I, I couldn't imagine anywhere else to be right now. And of course, you know, with all that I'm saying, a little further transparency because I'm in a place now where I'm getting ready to do some things that are going to require some real transparency, some boss transparency.
Mhm.
Um, you may be saying, well, what happened after 19 years? You can't make someone love you,
Yeah.
no matter what you
Mhm.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what you do,
Mhm.
Mm.
you can't make someone love
That's
you.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I'm full of love and I'm good and I'm thankful. And it's all good. Look for the book.
Look
It's
for
gonna
the
be
book,
dope.
y'all. Okay, brothers, y'all heard a little sneak peek.
Sup, sup.
So, and it's very needed. I mean, I think a lot of men will appreciate it because on the real tip, y'all men are just hard and you don't want to feel
Mm-hmm.
like you're weak,
Mm-hmm.
but in essence you really are. Is you'll
Mm-hmm.
make an excuse. Oh, I gotta work, I gotta go to work. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I can't go to
Mm-hmm.
chemo.
Mm-hmm.
Or I gotta do this, that's
Mm-hmm.
why I can't.
That's right.
And the reality is you can't handle
We
it.
can barely handle it, Queen.
You can't handle it,
We can't
you
handle. You're
know.
right.
So
You're
Mhm.
so right.
Mhm.
It's
so
tough.
this would be a good read for you brothers that are going through a similar situation. It doesn't necessarily have to be cancer. It can be any
Any
Yeah.
situation
yes.
Relationship.
that
Period.
you need
Mhm.
guidance and structure and that
Right.
strength on
Right.
how to handle something.
Your lady may have an issue with a thyroid.
Yeah,
She may have been 130 and now
yeah,
she's 185.
yeah,
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, how do you deal with that? You
yeah,
know, that big transition.
yeah,
You know, you love. You stick and you stay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
What?
So, is there a projected release date, or are you
I'm working on it diligently now.
okay?
I'm hoping to have it published by October, which is, you know, Breast
Mhm.
Cancer Awareness Month.
Mhm.
So if I can do that, I think I would have achieved a great goal this year. Particularly now with everyone being home and quarantined, some
Mhm,
working hard.
mhm.
So hey, keep positive thoughts my way.
Okay.
Keep praying for me, and hopefully I
Yeah.
can do that, and we can come back and do a book signing and all those good
Hey.
things.
Hey, there
Yo,
you go. There you go. Book signing at the skating rink.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Hey.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, with everything that's going on, how has this been affecting
Again, the boss, the big boss, he always takes care of me,
you? Mhm.
man. I'm amazed how humbly I'll say this. I'm amazed how God keeps blessing me and taking care of me and my boys and my baby girl. I'm grateful. The calls are not as numerous as they have been in the
Mhm.
past,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but they're significant.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know, they're
Yeah.
significant. They living just enough for the city.
There you
Hey.
go. There you go. There you go. So, what's next for you as far as roller skating?
I am really looking for a mentor.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm looking for someone to mentor me.
Hmm.
I've
Okay.
been reaching out and talking to different skaters, and of course, people are busy right now, and it's kind of tough. But I'm looking for a mentor. I want to mentor someone to teach me that New York style.
Okay.
I'm
Skate
like,
fam, there's the
yeah,
call.
yeah, yeah,
Y'all listening.
yeah.
Skate King is looking for a
I
mentor.
am. I'm looking
So
for a
have you
mentor.
been to New York at all?
I haven't.
Okay.
Have you
Okay.
been to any other national skate
Oh my
parties?
goodness. I've gone to California. I've been to Virginia. I've been to Miami. I've been to Orlando. I've been to Tampa.
Okay.
I've been to Alabama. I've
Okay.
been to Nolo. I've been to Dallas. I've been to San Antonio. I've been to
Any international skate?
no international skate yet. None
Okay.
yet. None yet.
Uh-oh.
None yet. None yet. None yet. None yet. Yeah. Been on the move. I've been taking the parties in,
Yeah.
and for the most part, it was just really trying to learn the culture and feel the experience.
Hmm.
I love to travel.
Hmm.
I'm
Okay.
adventurous, spontaneous too.
Hmm.
So yeah, I've been moving around in the
Okay.
culture.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So what would you say is something that would help push the culture forward?
I really think if there were more workshops,
Hmm.
someone would just take up the time and I mean say, hey, here's a workshop. It's going to cost you this.
Hmm.
There would be, I think the culture would be propelled forward. Yeah, like a headlining. Here's JB, New
Hmm.
York style,
Hmm.
this style, that style,
Hmm.
all headlined at a specific time, a specific place.
Yeah.
Maybe do that maybe quarterly. That would be
Hmm.
super, super dope.
Yeah.
That
Actually,
will be
that would
cool.
be the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
super dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those who really, really have a handle on it.
Hmm.
The other thing I thought about if we had more songwriters,
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who really
Yeah.
wrote songs about the
Hmm.
culture
Yeah.
and did because
Hmm.
everyone there are people who are talented in the
Mm.
culture. More songwriters to get the music out, to get the,
Mm-hmm.
the ideas out.
Mm-hmm.
The slow walk would be one example. That's a
Mm.
dope song. Who wrote that song?
Hey, see, you
Right.
didn't ask me that. I could tell you.
Right. So those kind of songs that
Yeah.
kind of glorified the different styles
Yeah.
Hmm.
and talked about the skate culture,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that would be super,
Yeah.
super
Hmm.
dope. And
Yeah.
then the other thing, if someone put together a little memoir,
Hmm.
just book.
But there are like we have Rockin' Richard.
Okay,
He
cool.
has he has his book out. There are some little books. There are documentaries out there.
Hmm.
I think they get lost
Yeah.
because
They do.
everybody is so worried about just going to the rink and
hmm
not, looking at the history of skating.
hmm
Because if they looked at the history of it, then they would understand how we got to where we are today. But there are some very good documentaries out there.
I also, want to commend you all with Skate Connect. This
Appreciate it.
is like a hub. So
Hmm.
yes, this is what I would call a beachhead,
Hmm.
to grow the culture and to bring us all together into one
Yeah.
central locale, one
Hmm.
central place,
Yeah.
so that we can get the information and understand the culture. Because I'm still learning.
Hmm.
I'm
Mhm.
still in.
Mhm.
I still consider myself a novice,
Hmm.
Yes.
a newbie, if you would. And but yeah, this is a wonderful idea to have,
Mhm.
live talk radio, music, the culture, and this is a great place to bring things together, like you're saying, like
Hmm.
Mhm.
the literature, the books, the things that are out there. And then even with that being said, having an opportunity to go to one central place to look at all the different styles.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
when I speak to people about um, the skate, they say, "Oh, you skate," and
Yeah.
they're like
Yeah.
excited, like, "Whoa, you skate? You do you really skate?" So for me now, I have a resource. I can say,
Right.
"Hey, download Skate Connect. There are videos there.
Mhm.
There's commentary
Mhm.
there. There's information there.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, well, where do I find it? Your Google
Okay.
Play Store,
Yep.
your
Okay.
Yeah.
iTunes,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
that's to me that's vital. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be on Skate Connect like yo,
Yeah. Yeah.
But you,
That was the whole plan, is to
yeah.
bring it for community. It's for the community
Right.
hmm
so
Right.
that we can
and we
Love
really like
it.
to talk to the 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 OGs in the game as
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
well as the novices
Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
the OGs passing on knowledge to the
Mhm.
novices,
Right.
Yeah.
and we we like to hear other people's story, their
Right.
journey into skating because
Mm-hmm.
everyone has a testimony,
Yeah.
everybody has a story,
Mhm.
and we say this all the time. We see y'all skating, we
Right.
see y'all doing y'all thing,
Right.
but we don't really know you.
Right.
Yeah.
So in order to be
Yeah.
a family, we have to get to know
Know
each
each other.
other.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
So
Sure.
we said, let's have this platform. Let's go ahead and do interviews with different skaters, those that are known and everybody's known them from years, and
Yeah.
those that are just coming in the skate game,
Sure.
and maybe they can gather some knowledge or information from somebody because even some of the OGs are learning from the novices, So it's like a symbiotic relationship.
And the thing too is that what I've learned is, um, humbly said, I'm not the best skater. I believe I'm an advanced skater.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm more
Definitely
of
advanced.
a
I can
right.
say that because some stuff I'll be like, okay, I've been skating since I've been I don't know how old, and yeah, my bones ain't gonna work
But
that
I think that the skate culture also is not only the skate moves,
way. Hmm.
it's the personalities
Yes.
that make
Mhm.
the culture.
Yeah.
So I would see myself more of a personality, skate
Hmm.
Mhm.
king,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Okay.
More of a personality that brings a certain flavor, a
Mhm.
certain energy to the culture, a
Mhm.
certain positivity, a
Hmm.
Mhm.
certain connectivity.
Mhm.
And that's also good for the entire culture to have good
Yeah.
positive role models,
Yeah.
Definitely.
positive
Definitely.
models,
Definitely.
Definitely.
positive, black men
Hmm.
standing and he's dope. He's cool. He's good
Yeah.
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a good feeling. So
Hmm.
as a culture continues to grow and people become, um, they want to know about the culture. These icons, if you will, kind of stand out. Who is
Mhm.
Hmm.
that guy? Who is that guy? Who is
Right.
Hmm.
that guy? Who's
Hmm.
that girl? Who's that person? Who's
Hmm.
she? So it's about the moves, the personalities,
Hmm.
those dynamics kind of wrap together to make it all solid.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Definitely. Definitely. So how can the individuals out here get in touch with you?
You can contact me on my Facebook page, which is Skate King. Skate King. Also have another Facebook page. It's King Leonard Butler.
Hmm.
I also have another page, which is God's Child
Hmm.
Leonard Butler. You can also contact me at um, IG Bearded and Lidded. BeardedAndLidded. Bearded and lidded. So the whole idea about bearded and lidded is let me clear my throat. I've been growing my beard for 4 years, and it's a new trademark
Since you've been skating.
since I've been skating.
Hey, there you
Exactly,
Okay.
go.
exactly. Let your hair grow, not glow,
Where
but
you at?
grow. So I've been growing my beard out, and recently I decided to start wearing hats again. So as a kid, um, my grandfather was a 6 foot um, red bone of a man, and he always had his hats on and his flow shiners, always sharp. So as a kid in high school and junior high school, I started wearing hats. I would go down to the Salvation Army and
Mhm.
get all these fly hats. And on Fridays was dress up day. So reminiscent to that, I began to recently, I guess a few years back, I've been wearing hats on and off, but I really began to look at hats in a whole different way, a whole different style. So I began to I purchased some hats. And so the bearded and the lidded has to do with the lid, which is the hat,
Hmm.
Mm.
like putting a lid on it. Put a lid
Mhm.
on it, dude.
Hmm.
So yeah,
That's what's
I'm
up.
into my hats.
And then as far as your business,
So the business you can contact me at again Facebook at the number one Dr. Clean,
hmm
Ice Machines and Refrigeration, or you can find me on the World Wide Web at the number one Dr. Clean, Ice Machines and Refrigeration. You can also email me at drcleanice at gmail. That's Dr. Clean Ice at gmail.com. I also have another company. You can look on the web for it as well. It is Touchdown Detailing. Touchdown, just like a touchdown when you throw a ball
Mhm.
in football. Touchdown Detailing on the World Wide Web. Also, Touchdown Detailing uh, on Facebook. So you can find me there.
You
Good deal.
cannot miss him. This is a real Renaissance man, y'all. Whatever you need, you can get ice, you can get clean, you can read a book, you can get a hat, you can learn how
Yo.
to dress. The brother has some dope T-shirts, y'all. I know if y'all seen him on the rink, he's always has something prolific on his shirt. So
Right, right,
yes,
Definitely,
look
definitely,
out for him.
definitely. Well, hopefully, when everything clears back up, everybody will be back in the rinks,
Yes,
and we'll see you at the rink doing your thing.
yes.
But for all of our viewers and our listeners right now who are listening live on the air, as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We thank
Mhm,
you guys very humbly, and we also, as we want to ask that you guys please share this platform
mhm.
with your family, friends.
Share, share,
Share,
share.
share, share. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Skaters Connect, Sk8rz And with that, thank you again for tuning in,
And
and we
we'll
will see
see you
you
off
on
the
the
wood.
wood.
Skaters Connect. Let's go.